What up, Dokkaners? The new campaign that's going to be dropping on JP is very important because not only will it apply to JP, it will also apply to global in the near future. Whenever that is, these 5 Baba Shop SSRs or TURs will eventually be receiving their EZAs. How good are they going to be? We don't know. How powerful are they going to be? We have absolutely no idea, but you can take the time to get ready now, because even if they're good or bad and you are interested in getting these guys ready to go, it's actually going to take you a little bit of time to do that, because you're going to need to spend some time hanging out in the Baba Shop. So let's take a look. This is why we know that there's going to be some change happening with them and in the form of an EZA, because of the campaign announcement and because of the fact that JP had to pay 100,000 Baba points for a single copy of the SSR. They're changing that down to 20,000, which I had no idea about. I didn't know that they had to pay so much, but they've dropped it down to 20,000. For global, it only costs 30,000. Let me actually show you here in the Baba Shop. I just bought a copy right here. This Roshi costs 30,000 Baba points. So, you know, having to buy all of the copies that you need, it's going to be pretty expensive. We're going to go over that in more detail. So these units right here, these 5 are very old archaic units that really have no place in today's meta. They're not even worth running, even if you max out their links or anything. They're just bad. Tech type key +2, great chance attack and defense 30%. These guys are just bad. There's no reason to run them. When they get their EZAs, what I think is going to happen is that these units are going to be the free-to-play answers to the 50% support units. You guys might recall there were 10 units that are very rare these days because you never come across these banners too often, but they provide insane support for certain types. Now, granted, the type meta is a pretty archaic thing now in Dokkan, but still, some of you guys do ask me in my videos when I'm running some of these units, yo, how do you get that guy? How do you get that guy? It's because they are very rare support units. This is one of the examples. Gohan, he provides a 50% stat support for super physical type units, which means there are 9 other units that cover other types and classes. So these guys are pretty decent when you're running a mono type team, or even in some cases, certain categories. So they are worth having if you could have them. The problem is they're so inconvenient to acquire that people are generally advised to stay away. This, I think, is going to be the free-to-play alternative to that. The only difference is that since there are 5 of them, I think that each of these are going to simply be a 40%, maybe a 50% support for the physical type or the AGL or whatever, which would be awesome. I don't know if they're going to go as far as 50 for a free-to-play Baba Shop unit. That might be a little bit crazy. Maybe something like 40, 45, which would still be cool, but there's no way of us knowing that. Regardless, it's better to be prepared. Nappa is irrelevant. Nobody ever uses a Nappa except for the recently acquired STR Nappa, but that too, he was on a banner that probably most of you avoided. So Nappa is not really in circulation. So if you want to be running a Nappa, this is really going to be your only option. And whenever he gets his EZA, he could be pretty good. Same thing with Deborah, although Deborah does have a little bit more of a place with his Majin Buu Saga support. Full power Roshi, there is no other full power Roshi except for some SRs. This guy's your best bet. You've also got Saiyaman, and you've got this Krillin who nobody uses. Like, who's gonna use this guy, right? So I have devised a nice little guide to break down the situation for you guys to get ready for this. The campaign is starting on JP October 11th. Global, we could get this soon after because these guys did release 2 months apart, Global and JP, so it's possible. We could be seeing this campaign maybe in a couple of months, maybe it could be 6 months like it usually is. Who knows? But the longer time we have to get ready, the better off we're going to be. These units cost 30,000 Baba points a piece for us on Global. Just to buy one SSR, that's 30,000 Baba points. That's equivalent to 3 summonable SSRs being Baba'd or exchanged in the Baba Shop, or 30, that's right, 30 farmed SSRs from a given story event exchanged into the Baba Shop. That's a lot. Maybe not for whales, but for other players, that's a lot. So this is going to take some time. Plus, these units are only available 30 minutes apart. So if you are trying to acquire all the pieces that you need, you're going to have time on your side to actually sit there and find all of them. So you need 150,000 Baba points to open up the paths for 1 unit. So if you are going to be getting these guys and you want to have them rainbow ready, you're going to have to spend 150,000 Baba points just for 1. Multiply that by 5, that's 750,000 Baba points to have all of them rainbow ready. Now, if you want to go the whole 9 yards and get them all 100% rainbowed and SA10, then each one would cost you 420,000 Baba points to fully rainbow. This I wouldn't advise because this is going to be very tedious and also pretty catastrophic to your Baba point count. And the Baba points do actually serve a purpose these days. Not only do you need them to buy various medals and support items, but you're also going to want them for things like your support memory reels. If you're trying to do a certain event or something like that, you might need a quick infusion of reels. This is going to be a very useful asset for that. So if you're constantly spending them on other things like the Baba Shop units, that could hinder your progress with support memory. So whatever you can do to save, I would recommend it, which we will get to. So 420,000 if you want to get them full rainbowed SA10 in this, process, which would equal 2.1 million Baba points to get them all rainbow SA10. I don't think you want to do that, which is why excuse me, you can do this. So here's your way to Dokkan responsibly. I would recommend you guys maybe take a screen capture of this one. I figured it would beat you having to like go through the Dokkan Wiki, click on all these different things. I have it all for you right here. These 3 units can be SA farmed fully, which means once you buy the 5 copies to get them rainbowed, the SA10 can be taken care of through this. The SA10 can be taken care of through this and through this. So for Nappa, your only option is an SR Nappa that drops on the Saiyan Warrior Race story event. This is unfortunately your only option, so it might take a little bit of time because once you Z-awaken the SRs, you have a 50% chance, but still, it's worth doing. Inhuman Deeds is the category needed to enhance the drop rate, so definitely bring those units. For the Krillin, you have 2 options. There's actually a third one, but he's an SR drop, and there's no need to even look at that when you've got these 2 SSRs. So you've got the Saiyan Rebellion story event and the Prime Battle Krillin event. Each one, get on these respective stages, use their respective categories, and get these units to drop. Depending on whichever one is a better drop rate for you, you could jump to that one. Whichever category you have more units of, that would be your best option, I would think. So for Revenge, if you've got a ton of Revenge units, run that. Or you could go to the Prime Battle, but just keep in mind, you can only run free-to-play Inhuman Deeds units if you want to enhance the drop rate. And then same thing for the Saiyaman, Parade of the Dead, Wrath of the Dragon. Bring the respective categories, get those drops as soon as possible, and boost their super attacks. If you were to do this and you boost all of their super attacks the responsible Dokkaner way, you will save yourself 38% of the total expense if you were to do this the 2.1 million Baba points method. 38%, which is equivalent to 810,000 Baba points. Good lord. If you were to do this, you would save 40% of the workload, which is absolutely worth it. So I highly recommend you guys take the time to do this, because who knows how good they'll be. Who knows if the type meta comes back? What if the type meta comes back? You never know. Dokkan is always reinventing things and changing things up. Who knows if they actually decide to bring the type meta back? It could happen. What if they make it like a 250% lead for AGL? How crazy would that be? So here's some last minute tips for you for farming Baba points. You can farm SSRs on any given free-to-play story event. Each one is worth 1,000 Baba points. So if you just want to, get as much Baba points as possible, go to whichever story event gives you the best drops for whatever unit that is. If it's maybe like the Coat Goku, if you have the most units that are on Movie Heroes, you could jump onto that one, or any other story event that is available to you, depending on what campaign is active. Exchange excess summonable SSRs. Now this one, I'm not going to say I totally recommend this. This is very much a case-by-case situation, because normally when you summon units and you have no use for them, the general conventional wisdom would be to just save them for something like Chain Battle, or maybe a potential EZA or something like that. Or you could even save them for future super attack boosts for other units, which is what I always do on my post-game show. After I summon for a unit on a banner, I will go through all of the units that I pulled, and I will use those excess SSRs and SRs to boost the super attack of other characters. So I would recommend that you guys either do that or exchange them for coins. But if you don't care about any of that, and you just need a quick infusion of Baba points, each summonable SSR is worth 10,000. And like I said before, 3 summonable SSRs basically is worth the price of one of these units from the Baba shop. Yeah, it's not worth it, but still, that's one option for you. What I would also recommend, pro tip, is for Nappa and Deborah, during any of your summons from here on out until whenever they actually get their EZAs, I would recommend that any Nappa you come across or Deborah, save them. If they're SSRs, if they're Rs, if they're SRs, any one of those levels, save them, because then you can use those as free SA fuel, thereby saving yourself the headache of having to do this grind and saving yourself the headache to have to farm out or get ready with the Deborah. Deborah does not have a farmable super attack, neither does full power Master Roshi. So a lot of your effort is going to be needed for these 2 units, especially Prime Battle, free to play full power Roshi. I think he's probably going to be the first one of the bunch to receive his EZA, given that the campaign that this is being announced on is a Dragon Ball Saga one. So I would actually not be surprised if this unit does receive an EZA relatively soon, which means he's probably going to be on the top of the priority list. And since there's no farmable unit to boost his super attack, you're going to have to take the time to actually buy these units from the Baba shop. One more thing that I do want to mention, if you want to get them fully awakened, you are going to need the Ghost Usher medal. If you're wondering what that is, these Ghost Usher medals are available daily in the Zenny shop, which I do need to show you, because this is going to be a very time-consuming issue. While you can buy these units from the Baba shop every 30 minutes, the Zenny shop is a little bit different. The Zenny shop is only available once a day. So if you buy this Ghost Usher for 1 million Zenny, you're going to have to wait 24 hours to get the next one, which means You basically need 1 week to get one Baba Shop unit fully awakened to the TUR level. 7 million Zenny to fully awaken 1 unit. You're going to need that a little bit more if you want to get all of them. 7 times 5, which is 35. 35 weeks, aka 35 million Zenny. It's going to take some time. So even if you start this now and we do get this anytime soon, you might be a little bit behind the curve. So that's why the sooner you can get this information out there, the better. And hopefully this is able to help you get ready. My advice, if there's a particular one that you're excited for out of the 5, like if you're maybe excited for Roshi, get started on Roshi. If you don't care about the others, feel free to just wait. You know, and in the end, if you need to use some Kais, go ahead, but at least get those base 5 copies for each of them ready to go. And that is how you Dokkan responsibly. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, out of the 5 Baba Shop units, which one has you remotely interested, if at all, if you even care. If you don't care, that's fine. But if you do care, what do you think their EZAs could potentially look like? Do you think we could see some 40% supports, 45% supports, 50%? What do you guys think? Talk to me. Let me know. And how prepared are you with these units already? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let you know I want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.